For the next section, we're going to add an HDRI to improve the lighting of our molecular scene. So an HDRI stands for High Dynamic Range Image. And HDRIs are a very useful aspect of Blender. They are a three-dimensional image that's taken of the real world, and it captures all of the lighting that you'd see in the real world and allows you to import it directly into Blender without having to personally place every single light that would be in your scene in order to recreate a specific effect that you're looking for. Now, I think that the best way to show you what an HDRI is just to go to the site where we get them from. So if you go to your lecture notes, you'll see that we have the different tools up here, which you can click on. So the environmental texture, that's the Blender name for an HDRI, so you can just click Polyhaven here. You can also go down to Section 2 using an HDRI and go to Polyhaven. So Polyhaven, what is that? So Polyhaven is a public 3D asset library, and the benefits of Polyhaven is one, it's 100% free, and all of the things in it are under the CC0 license, meaning that you can use what you download from this site for whatever purpose you want, which is the type of licensing that we always aim to get. And you can get HDRIs, you can get textures, you can even get some models, and they're all professional grade. So let's go ahead and browse the different HDRIs that we have available to us. So let's just click on this first one. And if you scroll down, you can see that you can preview the 3D view of the HDRI. And you can see just how cool these HDRIs are. So they're three-dimensional images that place you in a specific scene from the real world. And all of the lighting that's in this scene can be applied directly to your scene. So we get this nice sun, some good contrasting shadows, the diffuse effect of the atmosphere. You'll get some green in this scene from the plants in the surroundings, and most of the screen space reflections are going to be gray from the ground that it's sitting on. So for this scene, I did some looking around, and I found one called Canary Wharf. And I think this is a great HDRI for our scene. So to get it, click on it and go to Download. Okay, now we can go back to Blender, and if you go down to the timeline window, we can open it up. We can go to your editor selector, so that's right here with the clock. You can click on the drop down and you'll see that there's a shader editor option. If you click on that, it'll bring you to this node panel right here. And if you switch from object to world, it'll bring you to the node layout for our world. And you'll see that currently you have the background, which we just have as black, is being fed into the world output. Now, this looks nice for this scene, but if we wanted to add more realism, we can add our HDRI. You do that by pressing Shift-A, clicking on Search, and then typing in Environment Texture. Okay. Now, if we go over here to Color, click on this yellow dot, and then feed that into this color, what you will see is that it's going to try to load in our HDRI, which is currently, we haven't selected yet, so it can't find it. So that's going to be good troubleshooting. If you ever get this purple screen, it means that you have an incorrect path to an HDRI. So just go over here to Open. Under the Lecture 2 files for today, I already have it here, so Canary Wharf 4K. Click on it in Open Image. And the HDRI will be directly loaded into our scene. If we look around, you can see that our protein is sitting in the middle of this wharf. This scene is very bright, a little too bright for what I was looking for. So what you can do under background is you can control the strength of your HDRI. So we can, under strength, you can click here. If we wanted 1/10 of the strength, just add in 0.1. And you can see now we have a much darker scene. And it's improved compared to the last render in that the shadows are much more realistic. They aren't as harsh and as dramatic. They look like something that you would encounter in the real world. Okay, so that concludes the second section, using an HDRI to improve lighting in molecular scenes.